Welcome to Silent Secrets. Today, I'm about to share something that will completely shift the way you see yourself, your relationships, and the way women respond to you. Let me hit you with a truth most men never hear. Women don't truly remember the nice guy. They don't replay the face of the man who played it safe, who always agreed, who tried his hardest never to rock the boat. What they remember is impact, and impact doesn't always mean butterflies. Sometimes it's chaos, sometimes it's tension, sometimes it's a mix of emotions they can't quite explain. Confusion, excitement, frustration, desire. But always, it's unforgettable. Think about it. You've been told your whole life, be safe, be sweet, be stable. And where has that gotten you? Forgotten, ghosted, pushed into the good guy category that she respects but never truly obsesses over. Meanwhile, the man who broke the rules, the one who challenged her, the one who sparked feelings she couldn't control, that's the man who lingers in her memory long after he's gone. Today, I'm going to break down 5 powerful traits of men women never forget. These aren't cliches or predictable romantic gestures. These are deep psychological triggers that hit her mind and emotions in a way most men never figure out. If you've ever wondered why some men are impossible for women to move on from while others get erased without a second thought, this video will give you the answers. Stay with me until the very end, because once you understand this, you'll never look at yourself or your relationships the same way again. He walks away without explaining. Silence is more powerful than most men realize. When conflict hits, when emotions rise, when tension fills the room, 99% of men do the same predictable thing. They overtalk. They defend. They apologize. They plead. They explain themselves over and over, desperately trying to be understood. But the man she never forgets? He doesn't do any of that. He simply looks at her, keeps his composure, and walks away without explanation. Calmly, decisively, without leaving behind a long trail of words she can use against him later. Why does this work so deeply on the female mind? Because it disrupts her sense of control. Most women are used to holding the emotional upper hand. They expect men to seek validation, to clarify, to fix things, to chase. But when you take that away, when you show the discipline to walk away quietly, you instantly become rare. And rare is unforgettable. Example. Scenario. You're in an argument. She throws a jab at you, maybe an insult. Maybe she acts cold and dismissive. The average guy jumps in to fix it. He explains. He tries to make her see reason. Or worse, he pleads for her to stop being upset. But you don't play that game. You pause. You look her dead in the eye and say calmly, "I'm not doing this." Then you grab your keys, or you get up and you leave. No yelling. No guilt trip. No text later. Just silence. The shift that happens in her mind is immediate. Suddenly, she's the one left wondering. She's replaying the moment, questioning herself, trying to figure out what just happened. That uncertainty, that unfinished story, is what hooks her. Here's the key. This isn't about being manipulative. This is about emotional discipline. It's about showing that your worth doesn't need to be explained, debated, or justified. It's about proving that you can enforce your boundaries without raising your voice or begging for respect. And because so few men can actually do this, the impact lasts. Long after the argument is over, long after the relationship might even be over, she'll remember the one man who walked away without closure and left her questioning herself. That kind of silence echoes louder than any words. He makes her jealous without trying. Jealousy is one of the most powerful emotions a woman can feel, and it's unforgettable. But here's the catch. If you try to make her jealous, it backfires. It looks desperate. It looks insecure. It looks forced. The man she remembers forever isn't the one who tries. He's the one who naturally creates jealousy simply by living a life that doesn't revolve around her. This man has presence. He's magnetic. Other people notice him, especially other women. They laugh at his jokes. They lean in when he talks. They interact with him freely because he carries himself with confidence, and he doesn't brag about it. He doesn't rub it in her face. He doesn't even acknowledge it. He just exists as a man who naturally draws attention. That subtle exposure, the fact that she sees with her own eyes that other women value you, is all it takes to trigger jealousy. Example scenario. You're at a gathering with her. You're not glued to her side. You're engaging with people. You're relaxed, confident, enjoying yourself. Another woman touches your arm casually during conversation. Someone else laughs at your joke. You don't notice, but she does. Later, she makes a sarcastic comment. You really enjoyed all that attention tonight, huh? The average guy panics. He explains. He reassures. He tries to smooth it over. But you just smile and say, I didn't notice. I was just having a good time. Then you change the subject. That moment sticks in her mind. Not because you were unfaithful, not because you disrespected her, but because you reminded her that your world doesn't orbit around her. Other women see value in you, and that triggers something primal. The fear of losing you. When a woman feels that, it doesn't fade quickly. It lingers, because deep down she knows. If other women see you as high value, she can't take her position for granted. And the men women can't forget are the ones they felt they might lose at any second. He triggers her emotional chaos. Every woman, no matter how calm or composed she appears on the outside, carries emotional chaos within her. And the man she remembers forever is the one who sparks it. Not because he's toxic, not because he plays games, but because he awakens feelings that cut through her routine and force her to feel alive. Most men aim to be her peace. They try to be the supportive, predictable, always available comfort. And while peace has value, peace alone doesn't create obsession. What creates obsession is emotional chaos, the unpredictable mix of excitement, frustration, curiosity, and passion. When you trigger this in a woman, she's hooked. She's not just thinking about you, she's feeling you. Signs you've triggered emotional chaos. She says things like, I don't even know what we are. You're so hard to read. She pretends to be mad at you, but still checks your socials constantly. She vents about you to her friends, but can't stop bringing you up. She oscillates between frustration and desire. Those aren't signs of disinterest. Those are signs you've gotten under her skin. Think about it. Has a woman ever told you, I don't know why, but there's just something about you? That's the chaos speaking. When you become the man who creates both highs and lows, who challenges her and excites her, you stop being just another guy. You become an experience, and experiences last forever. Here's the key. You don't force it. You don't fake it. You simply show up as your authentic self. Confident, unpredictable, unapologetic. You don't let her reactions dictate your behavior. And because of that, you stand out. The men women can't forget are the ones who weren't afraid of their emotions, who stirred them up and made them feel something raw, something real. He sets rules she must follow. Let's be honest, too many men today walk on eggshells. They fear offending. They fear losing her. They fear being alone. So they tolerate disrespect. They ignore red flags. They silence themselves to keep her around. And then they wonder why she loses respect, why she grows distant, why she forgets them as soon as the relationship ends. The man who is unforgettable, he doesn't play that game. He sets rules. He establishes boundaries. He communicates standards. And he enforces them calmly, without fear. And here's the surprising truth. Women don't hate rules. They crave them, not because they want to be controlled, but because rules prove that you value yourself, that you know who you are, that you won't tolerate chaos or disrespect just to keep someone around. Example. You tell her clearly, I value honesty. I expect respect. If we're spending time together, I want effort from both sides. You don't say it in anger. You don't yell. You simply inform. And if she crosses those lines, you don't beg her to change. You don't stick around hoping she'll magically respect you. You walk away. That quiet authority is unforgettable. Because most men bend. Most men cave. Most men sell their self-respect for the chance to keep her. But the man who won't, he stands out forever. And here's the twist. When you set standards, the right women will rise to meet them. They'll see you as rare. They'll feel the weight of your presence. Because deep down, every woman remembers the man who respected himself enough to demand respect from her too. He shows love, then disappears. This might be the most powerful of all. Nothing burns into a woman's memory more than a man who showed her something real, then disappeared. We're not talking about ghosting after a one-night stand. We're not talking about manipulative breadcrumbing. That's weak. We're talking about the man who let her taste his depth, his presence, his emotional intensity, then walked away with purpose. Why does this leave such a lasting scar? Because it's rare. Most men either hold back emotionally out of fear, or they overshare and cling too tightly. Very few strike the balance of giving her something genuine, then disappearing without drama. Example. Scenario: you're fully present with her. You give her your attention, your focus, your affection. She feels safe. She feels excited. She feels deeply seen. And then, just as naturally, you step back. You move on with your life. You don't beg for a label. You don't chase after distance. You don't fight for validation. You simply let the moment be what it was, powerful, unforgettable, and you disappear. That leaves her haunted. Not because you hurt her, but because you awaken something she may never feel again. And here's the truth. She may never admit it. She may act unbothered. She may pretend you were just another chapter. But inside, she replays the moments. She compares other men to you. She wonders why it ended. Because sometimes it's not the man who stays the longest that's remembered. It's the man who made the deepest impact, then left without a trace. Conclusion. Here's the uncomfortable truth. A woman is more likely to remember the man who confused her than the one who loved her perfectly. Read that again. Most men are out here exhausting themselves trying to be perfect, to be stable, to be endlessly supportive, to love her the right way. But perfection isn't unforgettable. Impact is. What she remembers isn't stability, it's intensity. It's the mystery, the fire, the silence, the standards, the emotional roller coaster that left her unable to categorize you neatly in her mind. That's the game most men don't realize they're playing. So ask yourself, are you making an impression, or are you just convenient? If you're ready to stop being the man women move on from and start being the man they never truly forget, these 5 traits are your blueprint. Now it's your turn. I want to hear from you. Drop a comment below. Have you ever been the man she couldn't forget? Or the one she forgot without a second thought? Be real. Be honest. This community is for men who are done playing small. And remember this. If you want to be unforgettable, stop following the rules that make you invisible. If this video hit you hard, share it with someone who needs to hear it. Subscribe to Silent Secrets for more deep dive breakdowns into psychology, relationships, and the truths no one else is telling you. Stay sharp, stay grounded, and never be average again.